bia eba, which simply means come here. This is about the shortest sentence in Igbo language, which every beginner must know. It's as simple as this: bia eba, come here. There are many ways to respond to this, and one of which is to say anam abia, which simply means I am coming. No, that's how we say welcome in Igbo language. How wonderful will it be if you can speak Igbo language by just watching one video? And that is what we intend to achieve from this video as we put together our 30 days lessons that cover 60 simple Igbo sentences explained with color code and practical usage guide given to you. We assure you that if you watch this video till the end, you will surely speak Igbo language today. Let's dive into the lesson immediately without wasting your time. I am the Igbo tutor, Onye Nkuzi Igbo. No Onye Nkuzi, which means welcome teacher. Put somebody's name in the brackets and tell the person no. Maybe his name is Mike. No, Mike. And haven't told me no as your teacher. What will be my response? I say daalụ or imeela nwata akwụkwọ, which means thank you, student. So go ahead and put somebody's name up there and say no to the person. No, Mike. No, Onyinye. And look for somebody that has done something good for you today and say daalụ or imeela to the person. Maybe his name is Mike. Say daalụ, Mike. Imeela, Mike. Imeela, Chinedu. Gịnị bụ aha gị? Which means what is your name? Observe that we use colors to identify the individual meaning of the words that make up the sentence. Haven't asked me this question, what will be my answer? I will reply, aha m bụ Okafọ, which means my name is Okafọ. Go out there, ask your mom, dad, children, neighbor, friends, gịnị bụ aha gị, and demand for answer from them. If they don't know the answer, give them idea. Aha m bụ Chinyere, or whatever is their name. Bia eba, which simply means come here. This is about the shortest sentence in Igbo language, which every beginner must know. It's as simple as this: bia eba, come here. There are many ways to respond to this, and one of which is to say anam abia, which simply means I am coming. So go around, look around yourself here. Look for that child, that mom, dad, friend, neighbor around you, and say bia eba to him or her, and then expect an answer or a response, which is likely to be anam abia or lee me eba, which means here I am. Biko were oche, which means please take a seat. Biko were oche, please take a seat. If a friend offers you a seat, what will be your response to that friend? You simply say imeela enyim, which means thanks, my friend. Lekwa oji, which means here is colanut. This is the first thing we offer to visitors that come to our abode. When we offer you colanut, what will be your response? You say ya gazie, which means let it go well. You might be living outside Igbo land, but wherever you are and you want to learn Igbo language, you need to know how to offer colanut to your visitors. You might not be having physical colanut, but whatever you have that you are offering to your visitors, learn to offer that by saying lekwa oji and ask your visitor to say ya gazie. That is Igbo language for offering colanut. Learn it today. Practice it. Whether you give somebody a bottle of Coke or champagne, say lekwa oji. Nri dịkwa ebe a, which means food is available here. We offered colanut on day 5. Now we're offering food. What will be the response of our visitor? He will say, Ọ dị mma imeela. Ọ dị mma imeela, which means it's okay. Thanks. Remember, we are following this trend. We've received our visitor, we offered cola the first day, and today we are offering food. And when we do, we say, Nri dịkwa ebe a, which means food is available. And we expect our visitor to say, Ọ dị mma imeela, which means it's okay. Thank you. If you also go to someone's house or place and you are offered food, the same response is what is expected of you. Ọ dị mma imeela. Kedu maka ezinụlọ gị, which means how is your family? Kedu maka ezinụlọ gị? If we ask you this question, what will be your response? You will say, Ha dị mma, or Ọ dị mma, which means they are fine or it is fine, depending on how you see your family. Looking up there, you see that family is represented by two words, ezi and ụlọ, joined together to mean ezinụlọ. Ezi meaning outside the home, ụlọ meaning inside. So if you see your family as comprising of many people that are together, you say ha dị mma. But if you see your family as one unit, you say Ọ dị mma. So go ahead and answer this question. Kedu maka ezinụlọ gị? Answer ha dị mma or Ọ dị mma. Either of the two is correct. Kedu maka ahịa or ke maka ahịa, which means how is market? How is market? Kedu maka ahịa. When you ask somebody this question in the market, what do you expect as a response? You will say, Ọ na-aga ọfụma. Ọ na-aga ọfụma, which means it is going well. But if you look up there, you see that we put K in bracket in front of Kedu, which means you can use Kedu or K. If you want it to sound smooth, you say Ke maka ahịa. And when you meet a very busy guy in the market and ask him this question, an Igbo man will simply say Ọfụma, which is the same thing as saying Ọ na-aga ọfụma. So take it as the answer. It is the same thing as Ọ na-aga ọfụma. You don't have time for all this story. You will simply say ọfụma. Kedu maka ọlụ gị or ke maka ọlụ gị, which means how is your job or how is your work. And when we ask you this question, the likely response we'll expect is nsogbu adịghị. Nsogbu adịghị, which means there is no problem. In day 8, we asked a similar question concerning market, and the response we used was Ọ na-aga ọfụma or ọfụma. The same response can be used in this case, but we decided to give you another option to broaden your knowledge of Igbo language. So today we used nsogbu adịghị, there is no problem. Bịa rie nri. Bịa rie nri, which means come and eat food, or come eat food, whichever is more convenient for you. And when we say Bịa rie nri, what is the response we expect? You say Imeela ya gazie. Imeela ya gazie, which means thanks, let it go well. Are you still there? Great. That shows you are serious with learning Igbo language. So go ahead and hit the subscription and notification bell below, because we'll have a whole lot coming your way soonest. I don't want you to miss any of them. Let's move on. Isiebe. Isiebe, which means you are from where? Isiebe, you are from where? And if you ask me this question as your teacher, my response will be Esim Enugu. Esim Enugu, which means I am from Enugu. Put your own state, nation, or country there where you are learning from or you are watching this, and say Esim Lagos, Esim America, Esim Kaduna, and then observe that the subject pronoun I in Igbo language is always written together with the rest of the word. So you don't have M separate. Esim Enugu. They are always together. So, take note of that and go ahead and practice this. Kwem n'aka, kwem n'aka, which means shake my hand. That is what we do in Igbo land. That's how we welcome visitors. Kwem n'aka. And when we tell you this, what is the response we're expecting from you? You will say, were akam, were akam. Some people will just say, were aka, which means, have my hand. Were akam or were aka, have my hand. Please, nyem ya, which means, give it to me. Nyem ya is used when the person we are talking to already knows what we are referring to. Otherwise, we mention the actual object. In this case, we have ego in brackets. So we can have nyem ego, which means give me money. So when we say nyem ya, what response are we expecting? You say were ya, which means take it. Were ya, take it. Nyem ya, give it to me. Ole ebe igodode. Ole ebe igodode, which means where is key? Ole ebe igodode. And when we ask this question, what is the response we're expecting from you? You will say odi eba, which means it is here. Meghere m ọnụ ụzọ. Some will simply say meghere m ụzọ, and this means open the door for me. And when we say this to you, what is the response expected of you? You will simply say emeghego m ya, which means I have opened it. Biko nyere m aka. Biko nyere m aka, which means please help me. When you tell me Biko nyere m aka, what will be my response? I will say to you n'ụzọ ole, which means in what way? Ka anyị pụọ, which means let us go out. Let us go out. And when I say this to you, one of the ways you can respond is by saying esom gị, which means I am following you. There are other ways we can respond to this. We can also say ọ dị mma, which we have covered in one of our series if you have been following our teaching. Lee m anya, which means look at me. Lee m anya, look at me. And when we say this to you, one of the ways you can respond is by saying ahụrụ m gị, which means I see you. Ahụrụ m gị, I see you. Please go out there and speak to somebody about this. Tell your child, tell your uncle, lee m anya, and expect a response like ahụrụ m gị. Biko gbaghara m, which means please forgive me. Biko gbaghara m. And when you say this to somebody and the person accepts, what is the response we expect from that person? He will say ọ dị mma agbaghara m gị. Ọ dị mma agbaghara m gị, which means it is okay, I forgive you. Mechie ọnụ gị, which means shut up your mouth. Mechie ọnụ gị. And if you say this to me, my likely response will be maka gịnị, which means for what? Or simply why? Maka gịnị, why? Biko gwa m okwu, Biko gwa m okwu, which means please talk to me. Biko gwa m okwu. When somebody asks you to talk to him or her, what will be a likely response? You respond in one of these ways by saying basara gini, which means about words. What do we talk about? Hapụ ya ebe ahụ. Hapụ ya ebe ahụ. Hapụ ya ebe ahụ, which means leave it there. Just as we leave our tea inside the water for a while, and when we say this to you, there are a number of ways you can respond. You can simply say rue mbole, which means till when. Till when? Hapụ ya ebe ahụ, rue mbole, leave it there till when. Gaa deba aha maka PVC. Gaa deba aha maka PVC, which means go register for PVC, or go and register for PVC in case you have not done that. And the likely response we expect from you is to say ole ebe m ga-eme ya. Ole ebe m ga-eme ya, which means where will I do it? Ole ebe m ga-eme ya, where will I do it? Ahụrụ m gị n'anya. Ahụrụ m gị n'anya, which means I love you. I love you. Ahụrụ m gị n'anya. You can respond by saying etu a ka ọ dị, same with me, but we have other options. You can say imeela maka nke ahụ. Imeela maka nke ahụ, which means thanks for that. We gave you other options to broaden your knowledge of Igbo language. Cheta ihe ahụ. Cheta ihe ahụ. Cheta ihe ahụ, which means remember that thing. Cheta ihe ahụ. You can simply say it's okay, ọ dị mma, but let's broaden your knowledge of Igbo language by giving you other options. You can say echetara m ya. Echetara m ya, which means I remembered it. Echetara m ya. Weta ekwentị ahụ. Weta ekwentị ahụ, which means bring that phone. Weta ekwentị ahụ. Ekwentị is phone in Igbo language. And when we say this to you, one of the ways you can respond is by saying were ya. Were ya, which means take it or have it, whichever is more convenient for you. Ị mara mma. Ị mara mma. Ị mara mma, which means you are beautiful. You are beautiful. And when we say ị mara mma to you, you can respond by simply saying imeela. Imeela, which means thank you. As you can observe, we can write imeela separately or as a single word. When we write separately, the E represents you. Onye na-akụ aka. Onye na-akụ aka, which means who is knocking. Onye na-akụ aka. And if you ask me this question, my likely response will be obomo, obomo, or for smooth pronunciation, you say omo. They all mean the same thing. Obomo or omo, which means it is me or it's me. Ibo onye. Ibo onye. Ibo onye, which means who are you? Ibo onye. If you ask me this question, my response will be Abum Mazi Okafo. Abum Mazi Okafo, which means I am Mr. Okafo. Nri Okafodoro. Nri Okafodoro. Some will say Nri Okaforo, which means is food still remaining? If you ask your mom or your wife this question, one of the ways she can answer is to say Mba Ogola. As you can see in the picture above, there's no more food. Mba Ogola. Some will say Mba Ogugo, which means no, is finished. As you can see from the picture above, is finished. Mba, ogula. Thank you for watching. On the screen right away are videos we selected specially for you. Click on any of them and watch now. God bless you.